What's happening, people? We are back with another Friday drive time on the way home from work. It's a beautiful day out there. The sun is glorious. Little bit of a chill in the air, but the sun is just making up for it big time. But we're back with another drive time, and we're going to be talking about something different. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou in Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as the Furies refer to it. Unbelievable setting. They certainly know how to put on a show and stuff like that. What do we make of this fight? It's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, isn't it? A lot of people, they're not really talking about it, and it's interesting to see what way it's going to pan out. Certainly a really intriguing fight and stuff like that. Two of the baddest men on the planet, of course, clashing. Francis' main background is MMA, but we know he can hit hard. That guy will knock you into next week if he hits you. But what will the transition be like, and how effective will the influence of Mike Tyson have been on this man and getting ready for this fight? And is this a serious fight, or is this just a tidy payday for both men and stuff like that? It's been quite cordial up till now. No real slinging around like that. Tyson normally gets into that. The dad is on a mad one at the moment, John Fury. How much does that guy want to fight with Mike Tyson? It's absolutely crazy. But let us know your thoughts on it. How do you see this going? If you were to read into the betting, Tyson at the moment is 1-10. Francis is 10-1. You know, poles apart in terms of the betting and stuff like that, and you can understand that as well. Tyson Fury being so dominant now for a long time and stuff like that. Francis is his first professional fight, and how is that going to go? Both men, similar parallels in terms of their journey, if you like, in terms of when you think about their heart and desire and resilience and stuff like that. You look at Tyson as well, who fell off the wagon and all, the alcohol, the weight gain, you know, the depression, the suicidal stuff and all that kind of stuff. He had to battle back from that to become world champion, you know. Shows the resilience of the man. We seen with the Deontay Wilder fight, when he's put on his back, he still has that fortitude to get up, that warrior inside him that tells him, get up, you know, like Mickey out of Rocky. Get up, Rocky, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you, you know, that kind of, that's what you feel when you see that happening and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. Came back then and smashed up Deontay Wilder to win the titles and stuff like that, you know. So really impressive and stuff, his journey back to the top of the mountain from where he was. You look at Francis, we all know the story with Francis. Cameroon, made his way to France by hook or by crook, slept in car parks, cross waters, all this sort of thing, had no money for food, barely survived, sleeping in parks, all this kind of stuff. Got noticed, made his way up through MMA, got a chance in the UFC, went in there, absolutely obliterated the competition. Absolute savage of a man. Obliterated the competition, rose to the top of the mountain as UFC heavyweight champion, and was unbelievable in that role. And you know, when you see the power of Francis Ngannou as well, and the size of the man as well, and I'm not taking anything away from the size of Tyson either. We'll go through the stats in a few minutes and stuff like that. But this is going to be a serious clash of two extremely big boys who potentially could hit hard. Now, there's always question from the transition out of MMA, where you kind of like, it's a totally different technique, your footwork, your body positioning, all that kind of stuff. Some of the tools that you use in MMA in the cage aren't readily available to you in terms of boxing and all that type of stuff. But certainly from Francis's point of view, if he's been hanging around with Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's been training him, you would think he's been picking up an awful lot of tips off Mike Tyson. But again, for a man of his size, can he move the way Tyson moves? Mike Tyson, you know, you see Tyson hitting the bag even now, the way he moves and bobs and weaves and turns inside out and switches it up, and you know, low head movement, high head movement, all that kind of stuff. Is that really in Francis's locker, or is he going to come out into the middle of the ring, plant his feet, and away they go? Could be a very short night if that's the case. Has Mike Tyson come up with something that might allow him to use his technique? Have they found something to, you know, get inside the jab potentially of Tyson Fury? If they go in close, they're going to have to be very concerned about that uppercut. That will knock you into next week as well, no doubt about it. So have they found something? Have they found some sort of a surprise, a move that they can do to bypass the jab of Tyson Fury and also counteract the uppercut potentially on the inside when they get close? From Francis's point of view, has he developed enough skills to be in there? A lot of boxing purists get concerned about these things. I'm not saying this is like the influencer boxing, which there's a lot of thoughts out there about that, people making an awful lot of money. But I think this is different insofar as these are two genuine warriors going in there. The big question mark is over Francis and his transition into boxing and how serious he is about that. Is that really where he wants to go to? We heard a lot about this during the departure from the UFC and stuff like that. He wanted the freedom to go and do other stuff, and boxing was one of those things. But how serious is he about it? And then you look at Tyson as well, this easy payday potentially. You're looking at Tyson Fury at the moment. Has he taken it serious? Well, we'll know today when we see the weigh-ins what's happening there. We'll know later on and stuff like that. For me, he certainly looks like he's dropped a bit. When you seen him yesterday in the press conference, he was only wearing the waistcoat and he did look like he had trimmed down. Prior to that, he looked a little bit bloated for Tyson Fury. But we'll see how serious he took the training camp when we see the weigh-in. Francis is always in tip-top shape. That guy just looks like he's carved out of granite. And not always ideal as well for boxing as well, because you know, by carrying that kind of muscle mass and stuff like that, you know, you can seize up pretty quick and stuff like that, and you know, you don't necessarily go to this is 10 rounds. But yeah, if you look at the two boys and then you look at the records and stuff like that, obviously Francis, it's his debut professional boxing fight. He stands 6'4", he has a reach of 83. You know, you look at Tyson Fury then standing at 6'9". There's not too many men tower over Francis and Ngannou, in fairness. But also 34 fights, just that one blemish, the one draw, 33 wins, 24 coming by way of KO. You know, 2-inch reach advantage, which at times on that jab can be absolutely huge. And certainly Tyson knows how to take advantage of that. But what way do you see this coming out? Is this going to be, could there be a shock on the cards? Would we be surprised if Ngannou went out there and rattled Tyson Fury? We seen that there was talk and parallels obviously between McGregor and Mayweather and stuff like that. McGregor gave a great account of himself against Floyd Mayweather at that time, but didn't have enough to do it later on when it got when Floyd Mayweather say woke up and got a bit shook and stuff like that and goes, all right, we're in for a real fight here, let's see how this goes now, you know. But I mean, the boxing fan in me would turn around and say Tyson Fury will have too much. He's a wily old veteran at this stage with that amount of fights and stuff like that, and he just knows how to pick his moments and all that kind of thing. But could there be a surprise on the card? Is Francis Ngannou serious about getting into boxing? If he is, this would be some result if it was to happen. Just for me, it just has kind of shades of, for me, it's kind of shades of Apollo Creed and Ivan Drago, really. You know, it's a spectacle more than anything and stuff like that. And they're being very nice to each other and all, aren't they? So it's hard to know what way this is gonna go. You know, they're churning out the same stick and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just think this is a nice tidy pay with payday all the way around. Or is this like a serious event and stuff like that? But we will see. Coming at you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. the card starts. Bunch of heavyweight fights on it and stuff like that. So no doubt people are going to get their jaws clattered tomorrow at some stage with these heavyweights. 6 p.m. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on the zone. It's going to be absolutely quality. Really looking forward to seeing this one, because this has a different flavour for me than the influencer stuff. The influencer stuff is kind of, it can be hit and miss. You can really kind of get some cool moments, or else you can just get absolute dross. And we've seen that in the last event. Ed Matthews absolutely giving us those moments where he knocked your man out, and you know, then the two main events, pure dross, absolute dross. So let's see how this pans out. Let me know your picks down on the comments. Who takes this? Could Francis actually put on a shock, or is this just set up for Tyson Fury? Just another one, another notch on the card, and another payday from Saudi Arabia. On next times, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video and share the content. And as always, we'll be talking to you again real soon.